One day, Goku was training on Earth as usual, trying to push his limits and get stronger. He had just finished his morning meal, as per his usual routine, and was about to take on a new Challengean advanced energy technique he had learned from Whis during his time training with the god of destruction. Beerus, excited to test it out, Goku stood in a wide open field, far from any populated area, thinking he would be safe from causing damage. He decided to power up and test a move he called Super Energy Wave. At first, everything seemed fine. Goku's aura flared, and his energy gathered like never before. But as he released the blast, he miscalculated the intensity of the attack, and before he knew it, the energy surged out of his control. The wave shot out like a comet, tearing through the sky with a ferocity never seen before. His eyes widened in horror as he watched. The blast moved far beyond the training area, heading straight for Earth's atmosphere. He tried to use instant transmission to teleport to it, but the blast was already too powerful, and by the time he arrived, the energy had already broken through the sky. In that instant, a chain reaction occurred. The blast pushed outward, cracking the Earth's surface, sending shockwaves that caused massive earthquakes, tsunamis, and volcanic eruptions. Oops, that wasn't supposed to happen. Goku shouted in panic, realizing the magnitude of the disaster. The blast continued to spread, creating an expanding ring of destruction around the planet. His heart raced as he tried everything to stop it. But the energy seemed to have a mind of its own. He immediately contacted Vegeta and the others to warn them. But it was already too late. The Earth began to tremble and crack under the force of the wave. Goku's first instinct was to try and reverse it, but every attempt only made the situation worse. Frantically, Goku called on Shenron, the Eternal Dragon, hoping that the Dragon Balls could save them. But when Shenron appeared, even the mighty dragon couldn't undo the devastation. As Earth was already on the brink of total destruction, Goku fell to his knees, guilt and regret overwhelming him. He had never meant for any of this to happen. All he wanted was to become stronger, to protect Earth, and to push his limits. In the final moments, before the Earth seemed like it would shatter, a familiar voice called out to him. It was Vegeta, who had arrived with the others. Without wasting any time, they combined their powers to create a protective barrier around the planet. Vegeta, with his usual gruffness, shouted, "Kakarot, this is your mess to fix. Don't just stand there." Desperate, Goku gathered all the energy he could, pushing himself beyond his limits. With the combined will of his friends, and the remaining energy from Shenron's last wish, Goku used the last of his strength to reverse the effects of his attack, carefully containing the energy in a small ball that he then launched far into space, where it could safely dissipate. The Earth trembled one last time, then fell still. The damage was devastating, but not as catastrophic as it could have been. Still, the Earth had been torn apart, the cities were in ruins, and the landscape had been reshaped. But at least the planet hadn't been destroyed. In the aftermath, Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, and the others worked together to rebuild what had been lost. Goku, however, couldn't shake the guilt. He vowed that he would never again let his reckless ambition endanger the people he loved. He had learned the hard way that sometimes the greatest strength is knowing when to hold back. And though the Earth was saved, Goku would never forget the time he accidentally destroyed it, an error he could never undo. No matter how much he trained, from that day forward, he was a little more cautious with his training. Just a little.